Coach, coming back home and really at the time of year where you're starting to face teams a second time around, facing Western Michigan again. Been a couple months since you faced them up in Kalamazoo. Yes, what are you looking at this week as far as prepping for them for kind of round two?
Well, first and foremost, they're one of the top teams in the country for a reason. They play hard. Uh, their compete level is very high. They've got speed up and down their lineup. Their goaltending has been solid, always well prepared, and they've been playing really good hockey from the beginning of the year. So I'm sure their confidence is skyrocketed. Um, we got to prepare our best. We've been faced with uh, tough opponents here in the last month. Most of them on the road and hostile environments. So it'll be nice to be home again and just be able to be home on Thursday night and be able to prepare here at home. So nothing changes for us. We got to continue to try to get better every day and make sure that we're paying attention to details, and our compete level is still got to be high, and then obviously we got to continue to focus on the preparation and making sure that we're ready to go.
You're obviously very young this year. Um, how would you characterize or calibrate, or whatever you want to do it, the rate of development of your huge freshman class from the beginning of the season till now? Are you seeing what you want to see, or have you seen what you want to see along those lines from then
Yeah,
till now?
I think when we spoke at the beginning of the year, I think I mentioned that I felt like we'd probably be a better team in January and February than we were in October and November, and I think that's probably true for every team in the country. You always grow as the season goes along, and the rate of growth sometimes is different depending on how young you are or where you sit in the standings, and things that are going on with injuries and luck and things like that. So for us, I think we're very pleased with our growth and our maturity over our maturation over the last couple of months. I think when you have a young team, no matter where you're coming from, whether they're successful junior programs or not, the attention to detail and the compete level on a day-to-day basis is always different when you take the next step. And so there's a learning process, and that goes on with just understanding that day-to-day grind. So I think a lot of it has to do with that, feeling comfortable, feeling confident in what we do and how we do things, and really just understanding the standard that we have and knowing how to prepare every day to reach that standard. I think sometimes it takes time for that. But I think we're at a place right now where we understand what's expected of each other, and they know, and if the other side of it too, it's a learning experience for the coaches too. You got 14 freshmen. Sometimes you're trying to put the pieces in the wrong place, and it takes a little bit of trial and error to put the pieces together. So we're happy with our growth. I don't think we're at a point where I can say, where I can say to you that we're there, but we're getting close. We've played some real good hockey over the last 5 weeks. Our guys are feeling real good about how we're playing and how we're competing. We still got to, I think, shore up a little bit of the detail stuff that is required for consistent, success. But other than that, we've had good practices over the last couple of months, and guys are understanding the situation that we're in, and those are all good things.
Coming off a loss at Omaha, what are you going to look to do differently this weekend?
Well, I thought we played, the series in Omaha Friday night. I thought we played really well. We came back, 2-goal deficit, and got the lead early in the third period. I thought we were playing pretty good hockey. We were playing good situational hockey. They score on a power play. tough break, but I thought our guys, pushed back after they tied it up on Friday, and we had to kill a penalty in overtime, and then were able to score the goal to win it. But Saturday night, I thought actually we played pretty good. Obviously when you go on the road in our league, there's no easy teams, and when you beat somebody on Friday night, they're going to come back mad, and they were mad. They were aggressive. They were on their toes. I thought we matched that intensity. At times they had some flurries. At times we did. We hit 3 posts. They got a power play goal and then a real bad break on a shorthanded goal that we gave up. Other than that, I thought we played really well. We have the coaching staff has a kind of a standard, an objective that we try to meet every game. And, usually if you're hitting on 7 or 8 or 9 of those objectives, you're probably going to win the game. Well, sometimes it doesn't work that way. And Saturday was one of those days where we hit on a lot of our objectives, but we just didn't find the back of the net. So I think a little bit of the urgency, the desperation around their net probably wasn't there as it's been in the last couple of weeks for us. And so we have to get back to that.
It's interesting you mentioned a learning experience for the coaches too. Have you either noticed or did you consciously change perhaps your approach to coaching this year with all these new guys, maybe a little more patient perhaps? Or, I mean, I know you've got to be yourself, but still have you noticed anything like that, or did you consciously try to do that?
Yeah, I think, first of all, if anybody tells you, if things are going bad and then all of a sudden things are turned around and the question is, well, did you change anything? Well, probably not. But for us, we knew we had a young team, so we had to be patient. There's been times where, we've gotten on our guys, but that's to be expected. Sometimes you have to push them a little bit. But a lot of times right now we're teaching and we're trying to get the most out of them. And so you adapt with the situation. As a coach, the most important thing is to read your players and communicate and make sure that you know where they're at and what they're feeling, and then design practice or whatever it may be based on the feel of the team. So there's been times where we've been patient. There's been times where we've pushed. There's been times where we've laid off. There's been all sorts of things that we go through over the course of a year to make sure that our guys are ready. So to answer your question, have we changed? Probably not, but we've been aware of the situation maybe a little bit more because of the youth right off the bat.
With such a young team, how do you keep their morale up and keep them focused going into the last stretch of the season?
Every day. We're at Miami. You play for Miami hockey. You take nothing for granted. You appreciate everything that you have, and you go out and you work hard because that's our standard and that's what's expected of you. And you have to take ownership for your actions and responsibility for your actions, not because of the coaching staff or anything else, because of the guys that played here before you and the guys that are in the locker room with you right now. And those are the guys you have to see every day, and you have to hold yourself to that standard, and everybody has to hold each other accountable. And that's been something that we've tried to impress on in our culture. And there's a reason why there's a saying on our wall that you leave this program better than you found it, and that's something that everybody takes great pride in. So to answer your question again, it's easy. You go and you be your best every day. That's all we can control. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we know that we're here today, and you better be the best version of yourself. And then if we can continue to do that every day, then we'll be in good shape.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.